How do you end a 3-part YouTube series meant to show an eager audience early access to City Skylines 2? With the back half of the milestones to go and 1 hour to spend with them, how could I best show off the endless possibilities that this sequel brings us? My thoughts? It's futile. Unless I do it thrice. Yeah, let's make that the plan today. I've got a life story to continue this main city with, but I'll be bringing in these other 2 alternatives throughout the episode. All 3 versions pick up exactly where we left off last time. Now, with a plan in place, let's build this next chapter in my life together, shall we? The first thing we are going to do together on this dreary September day in ToadieZzz is tackle this high rent problem. Now, I've been troubleshooting this for approximately 12 hours, and let me go through the things that I've found to help it, at least. We are going to add an extension wing to this primary school, elementary school, I think they call it. I'm going to add one right over here in front of the fire hall. I'm going to add one in here somewhere. I would like it to be as central as possible. I'm thinking right there. And finally, the state of this downtown, please ignore it. I'm going to add one right here that will double helping these businesses with their not enough customers problem. Now, the next thing involves looking at an info view, so shield your eyes real quick. We are going to open up the population graph, and I'm going to have Editor Toadie zoom in and try to help your eyes as much as possible. But we can see that our unemployment rate is, I'm going to pause, it's 7.4% right now. And if we go over to the workplace availability info view, what I'm looking for here is to see if there are any education levels of jobs that stand out as having no availability in them. So we've got a good amount available for well-educated, which is college, and then pretty much everything else is totally full. So this tells me that I would like to get definitely more industry in here for the lower education jobs and a little bit more office in here as well. Looking at the air pollution info view, we can see that smog could be carried down that way towards the top right of our screen. So we are going to zone our industry up here and a bit down here. In between the 2, we can zone some low density office. We'll put a little bit of commercial in there, mostly just for fun, and a bit more industry up this way. We will reassess the unemployment rate in a bit, and we will be working on fixing this demand very soon. But first, the last 2 things that I found would help is I am actually going to de-zone a bunch of this downtown. So I'm going to get completely rid of these high density, like regular high density housing, and rid of a bit of the mixed zoning as well. I do want to revisit this downtown, but I have plans and they involve some work that we will be doing later in the episode. The last thing to help with the taxes maybe is this upgrade called City Planning Offices, minus 5% building level cost city-wide. And if we plunk it in, I actually really love the way that looks. And just maybe that will help folks be able to afford their life. And finally, something that I think that I've learned is that these lot sizes are basically like the biggest lot size back. As far as zoning squares go, they're pretty much all the full 6 zoning squares back. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually force a lot of these to completely rezone themselves as like smaller versions of their same lot. The working theory here is that the smaller the lot size, the less expensive the rent. But honestly, in reality, I truly suspect this high rent thing to be bugged. I've had it happen multiple times where I start a brand new city and the very first houses that are zoning in with that new city have high rent complaints. I'm hoping this will at least help things in our city not be so drastic, and you may be sitting there thinking, Toadie, all you've done is just delete all the houses, so of course they're not going to have high rent notifications anymore. And gang, you're not wrong. Let's see what we get. Okay, improvement for sure. A quick jump back to our unemployment rate. It's now at 0.1. So in theory, pretty well everybody who lives in these houses has a job. Now let's look at our taxes and through them fix our demand. Hey, Editor Toadie here. In this clip, I'm talking about how lowering taxes seems to rake in the income, but since then, the version we're playing on has had a massive update and the whole tax meta has changed. So later on, I'll work on trying to find a new balanced tax percentage, but the scaling of the residential taxes with education still makes sense, so I'm leaving this in. What I'm enjoying doing is adjusting each tax bracket duber lower for the higher educated you are, hoping that it encourages people to go to school. The next thing we're going to do with taxes is look at what we are overproducing and underproducing. Do you guys remember when I said that we're going to need a lot of grain? What I've done is I have written down every one of these that has a pretty large surplus or a pretty large deficit. Everything that has a large surplus, we are going to tax like crazy, and everything that has a large deficit, like the petrochemicals here or the textiles here, we are going to actually subsidize them. So convenience food needed a little bit of subsidy, food needed a little bit of subsidy, grain needed lots of subsidy. I'm actually going to put it into a pretty hefty negative. We may readjust from there. Timber needed a little bit more taxing, metal ore needed a little bit more taxing, petrochemicals needed some subsidy, wood some more taxing, coal a ridiculous amount of taxing. I'm gonna actually maybe just put it up to full. Livestock was quite a bit. Textiles I think needed a lot of help, didn't it? And then finance and media were off the charts as well. So now when we look at this collapsed, our offices are making 1.5 million more than they were before when I had them all set to a 10. And I don't know if this production page will like self-adjust over time. For example, if we will start making less coal, but at the very least, even if we do continue this amount of coal, we will be making bank off of it. We're getting a little bit low on our electricity, so I am going to come in here and let us grab the emergency battery station so that we can get the geothermal power plant. We're deviating a little bit from my actual hometown experience. Now, before I buy the tile to place the geothermal on, let's do a bit of cheese together, my friends. Now, according to the spreadsheet that my community and I put together, that's not the most efficient way to unlock these milestones, but don't worry about that. We're getting the speedrunning route down. We are going to purchase 48 tiles at once, and all of a sudden we have so much more of our world available to us. I've just unlocked large roads, intersections, and Grand Bridge, and we have some interchanges to update. Okay, the graphics on that last flyby were a little rough, but here's the actual entrances. I don't even want to talk about how ridiculously difficult this was for some reason, but this is a retaining wall, not jaggedy, sharp grass. Just ignore. It's great. It's perfect. It's wonderful. And this area here is going to be where we bring in kind of the next stories of my life, I guess. As you guys no doubt have figured out by now, I grew up in a small town, so our downtown was filled with medium density buildings like this. So where have I been that has had actual skyscrapers, high density style stuff? Well, I have been in Toronto, of course, I live nearby, and Vancouver. I have this cheeky video on the channel of me flying all the way to Vancouver to visit actual City Skylines buildings that were in the City Skylines 1 game that were modeled after these buildings in Vancouver. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Go check it out. It's really cheesy and fun. But before we get to our skyscraper-esque downtown, I want to put this geothermal power plant right here. And there is the road, so let's pick it up and relocate it this way. Bring it some road access and bring in what I'm calling my tribute to Lionsgate Bridge in Vancouver. Some of my fondest memories in Vancouver are driving across the Lionsgate Bridge with my aunt in her BMW with like the top down, but it's cold enough out because it's Vancouver and of course it's raining. So then we have the heated seats on, but then they're too hot. So we have the air conditioning on. Anyways, my aunt is a hoot. Honestly, you would love her. In order to get the electricity from this geothermal over to our city, let's not take the easy way out and just shove the hydro poles underground. Let's actually take this transformer station and put it over here by the Technical University. Grab the hydro lines. Now, did you guys know that if you have a hydro line and you go page up or page down, it changes the way that it looks? I think I'm going to stick with the relatively small ones here. Let's just get them to come straight out from the transformer station and start coming along this highway, I guess. I'm honestly not really sure how these things like work most often in the real life, but we're going to bring it around, try to respect this kind of geography here and do this. If I do want to export it though, I will have to also go underground and do the cheaty easy thing, which is just bringing it over here. And then look how much more we're exporting. Another sort of like tidying up thing I would like to do is go into the garbage management and grab incinerator plants. I know we're going to be producing a lot of power, but we are going to export it all, so it's going to be fine. Going to grab this 2-lane one-way highway, and I don't know, I may end up regretting this, but let's just come right off of this guy, come all the way down here, and I'm just going to cut through the pre-existing highway. That's what would happen around where I live. I'm going to just bring it there for now, and we're going to put this incinerator plant, we're going to like kind of hide it back here. And then, because we are being so cheeky with this technical university, now that is a rather steep slope, isn't it? Let's see, is there anything we can do here? And with that in place, we are going to scooch over here. And you know what? I'm getting rid of this landfill. I don't like it. And we could use this space for more jobs. Now, I don't know if this is how this is going to stay, but it currently has 543 tons, I assume, of garbage in it. And I can just do this. And all that garbage just appears to go away. So that's really handy. Because I've just removed that and we are about to add a whole bunch of high density, I'm gonna increase the processing speed and capacity of this by adding another stack. So we went from 45 tons a month to 65 tons a month. And with these additions in place, we are going to leave this area for now, and I want to focus over here. Now, if you remember, I built all of this from scratch, so I certainly want to put it to use. I do have this 2-way highway going through. What I'm envisioning for this area is like a combo of Vancouver with the shoreline and Toronto with like the Gardiner Expressway and Lakeshore Boulevard, if you've ever been through Toronto. I just want to show you guys this on screen real quick. If you ever feel bad about your connections to your highways in your cities, just take a look at Google Maps. What you're doing is probably fine. So I want to build up the area around this highway and just connect to it at too many points. But first, I'm going to do something drastic. I'm going to go to our graphics quality and I'm going to bring it down to very low with only the anti-aliasing set to something else, because I know that seems to bug so many of you guys, but I want to show you what gameplay feels like with the lowest graphics settings. And not only that, but I want to give editor Toadie a break, so I am going to put a 30-minute timer on screen. And we are going to have a 30-minute playtime session. It sounds so funny. I want to really show you guys what 30 minutes of gameplay feels like in this game. So 30 minutes and go. Hi. So I actually already started recording once by accident, but hey, I wasn't recording. So all I did was I put a cemetery down here, which is over here by the farms. And I went in, I grabbed all of the park development points all the way up to tourist attractions, and I grabbed, I think, the police center duber. Where's police on this? The police headquarters. And that's it. We are out of development points, but we can always cheese up to more if we need them. What I will say is because I'm not going to edit this, I really want you guys to see like what just playing the game kind of feels like. Anytime I go into an info view, the white light is pretty blinding. So just, you know, mind your eyes. There's really not much we can do about it. I assume it is something that will be fixed before release, because it is pretty wild. It's pretty wild. So I'm just doing a cheeky slope. I know it's like, I know that says like the slope is 18% or whatever. The grade is 18%. Gang, it's fine. It's fine. It's a heck of a lot better than it would have been had I not done the slope tool. And you know what? When I look at it like this, I would ride up and down that. I really would, especially on a motorcycle. It would be a hoot. So we're going to do some lazy landscaping. I realize I think I say a hoot a lot, and that's not me being goofy for the camera. That's just a thing that I say. So I guess I'm sorry. This one I think we can probably landscape out to be a little bit nicer, eh? Oh, please. This is you're witnessing live toady landscaping. There is a reason I edit this out, and it's because it's dirty. Not in any sort of fun way. It's just I have to fuss with it and fuss with it and fuss with it until it finally looks okay. But when it does look okay, it looks okay. Who would ever thought? That's probably fine over there. And then this side is pretty rough, isn't it? It's pretty rough. Not really even much point to this road, to be honest, because there's really not a lot happening up in this area. Oh, I've got the game paused. Nothing's happening up here yet. I do want to make like at least a wee neighborhood up there, but it just felt odd not having them connected at all. Let's scooch this way bigger. Okay, that is fine. It's fine. We'll chuck some trees on it. Actually, I'm going to put the trees on it now. I think I said this during that previous time when I was recording, but I wasn't actually recording. We all know it by now, right? The trees take forever to grow. I think one of the solutions is just to put like an incredible amount of trees wherever you think you may want trees in the future, and then delete them once they've grown in, and you can see kind of like, oh, that's not what I want there. That's too many or whatever. I think that is perhaps the path. So that's all that done. Now we do have some high density demand. What I'm going to do, mind your eyes, is I'm going to actually start sprinkling around this low rent housing in part of my efforts to combat the high rent problem. So I'm just going to do very, very small low rent buildings. The smaller they are, I'm hoping the less expensive the rent will be. I could probably get a couple over here. I don't know. Those guys I think are just like regular medium density. Okay, and then that's it. That's the demand gone. Wonderful, that's fine. If we come back down this way, this is supposed to be our downtown. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this whole trick, and I am going to get rid of that and then zone in, mind your eyes. Every time I'm going to zone this to be, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm just going to straight up rezone it. Sorry, everybody. And again, mind your eyes. It's just, oh, actually, why don't we make these ones the EU style? Yeah, that's fun. And I'm going to leave that for now. And what to do? I'm actually so nervous. Like recording with you guys with no editing. I don't know why I'm nervous. I live stream for fun over on twitch.tv/ToadieZzz for like hours at a time. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay, so previously I thought that this was, I guess when I did all of this landscaping, I thought I shouldn't have big flat areas because that feels lazy, right? Oh man, I previously accidentally, so I clicked delete here, and I went over to this, and then I let go, and it goes like all the way, it follows it all the way back to the interchange. So that really sucked. I lost, I don't want to admit this, but hours of progress, because I don't know if you guys know this, I'm not an interchange guy. So we're actually going to do this. We are going to flatten out a bunch of land, and we're just going to use it while it's flat. So yeah, honestly, why don't we just do this? I know it looks a little rough. Just bear with me. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Actually, that is immediately fine. And then we can scooch a road out here, right? And what I would like to do here, let me just get everything. Yes. Okay. I have a plan. So this, I'm going to delete this, and then I'll show you how I've been getting the like retaining walls. So I think I've shown this somewhere else. I don't remember if it's this video or the last one. I think it might be the last one. I basically just make the land like half and half. So half underneath, like the land underneath where the road's gonna go. I make half of it the up height. Although, I don't, this isn't working. Oh, it is working. Okay, here we go. The land, half of it the up height, and then half of it the down height. And those are words that will confirm what I'm trying to communicate. It's gonna work at least for half of it. At least for half of it. You see that? Do you see how? Okay, it's not working. You know what? You know what? This is why it's not working. This land needs to be like just a touch higher. So we're gonna scooch this way down. And oh, I'm gonna have to press the up button. So left click makes it go higher. I could probably start with this height. Enough. And then go up a little bit from there. There we go. And then make it the full strength and make everything that height. Yes, there we go. That's gonna, I think that'll work. I can get rid of this. Them. A nice and slope. Very good. And that would be good. Oh, hello. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Come over here. And I think I'll just do a straight road, if you don't mind. That is doing what I want it to do. Do you see? Yes, how on the one side it has the doober. You guys know the doober. Now here, I'm gonna actually do this and then this because it is still giving the retaining wall there. Delightful. So now we do more landscaping around it to make it look natural. Do this. And the way that I've been handling this is going over here, starting the slope to it. I am using this slope terrain tool like all the time in combination with these retaining walls. So if you are out there thinking that you would like to get into doing the retaining wall stuff with the cut and fill roads, make sure that you know how to use the slope tool for the landscaping. Okay, that is wonderful because then I can't believe we are 10-ish minutes into half an hour of unedited footage, and I feel like I haven't accomplished anything, and for that I am so sorry. I am so sorry. But if you enjoy this sort of panicked chit-chat, you know, come find me in the places that I live stream. Now, do I want this to... I do. We're gonna see how this works, because this is kind of doing the little retaining wall doobers under it as well. But I wonder, can we go through them just to try? No. So we're gonna have to work around that fact, but that might be something I have to figure out off camera because my brain is already fried. I'm already so nervous. So this one, I do want to go under there. So you know what? I should just do it with you guys. I really should. So the way I'm gonna fix it is I'm gonna create a node there. I'm gonna create a node there and there. Delete this. Okay, and then go through. Actually, why don't we make the ground just a wee bit lower underneath, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, just like that, actually. That is, that's exactly what I wanted. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Okay, let's see how that does. Not great. We do this first, and then let's take the slope and make it a nicer slope, right? Same thing up here, make it a little bit nicer slope. We can fuss with the sides later, as long as we have. So I'm watching the number where it says like 3.2 right now to make sure that we are in fact going down into the ground. Then we can get rid of these. And maybe it'll just work, but I think, oh, no way, get out of here. It did, it just worked. I love it when things just work. Don't you? So around here, we will have a bunch of this like filled out. We'll have all of this filled out. And I remember, wanted to, oh, there's just so much to do. I am so sorry for the blinding light. Yes, I wanted to put this over here. Did I? Yeah. So I want this to be, oh my goodness. Honestly, other than, I don't know how to say this. How do I say this? Other than a few things that I would be incredibly surprised if they didn't make it into the final version of the game. Doing like a permanent toggle for that whiteness is my humble #1 request from the Colossal Order. Now, maybe Oh, I am gonna regret. So this is totally like what, honestly, friends, this is all very unplanned. Now, if I... Now, hold on a minute. How do I get a retaining wall on both sides? I guess I just have to make this bit in the middle as thin as possible? Oh, wait. Or it just has to be the correct amount above the ground, which it may be. So let's just test it. No, it's gonna do an elevated. Right. Okay, okay, okay. That's fine. That's fine. Panic less. So if I do this... Oh, maybe. Okay, I'll try this, but then I think I know the answer. Yeah. I think the answer is to have it be just like wider. And then just like a lower height. Is that doing it? Okay, it did it that side. And it did it that side. Yes. So, I should probably try to use better words for what I said there. I made the ground the full width of the road, like all the way around the road. I just made it so that the height that the road was thinking it was at, like off of the ground, was less high than what it was when it was trying to do like a completely elevated road. Makes any sense at all. Now, this has these paths. I think can do this. Yeah. You absolutely can connect to it. I'm probably just going to be able to go out the one side. I have snapping turned completely off, apparently. Can I just do like a cheeky little one of these? Or is that going to yell at me? It's fine. This is why I have snapping off. Yeah, that's all fine. We could do this just to maybe help that one make a little bit more sense over there. This guy will just come this way. I feel like I told you guys that I wanted 1/2 hour. I wanted to show you like 1/2 hour of what playing City Skylines 2 looks like. Totally unedited, right? And then now I am panicking Anakin, trying to get as much done in that 1/2 hour as possible. So, classic panicking Anakin, really. That's not bad. I actually really like that. I like that. I don't know why I bother putting a little cul-de-sac here, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it so that you, my friends, can holler at me. Holla at your girl and tell me why it's so bad. Enjoy. All right, so now that thing is gonna count for park coverage. Oh, right? Yep. Brutal. We have other things. I just said, which is horrible. We have other services that we need. So, healthcare. We have got a giant hospital over there, right? But let's get a wee medical clinic over this way. I'm just going to look at... Yeah. Now, these guys are going to start being high density, so the services are going to go a lot less far on them. So I'm going to just focus on this area in the middle here, and then I'm going to turn off that horrid white... Oh, it's everything. And I just remembered this other big deal that I wanted to do. So until now, I haven't had any park maintenance. So I believe if I go to a park, where is it? Maintenance, 0%. Now it still says efficiency is 100%, yet the maintenance is 0. And that's going to be the way that it is for all of my parks because I haven't put down a park maintenance building. But if you zoom in, maybe not on this guy. Oh, that's a dog park. That's why. Let me find a park that this will happen in. Not this one. No. I'm looking. And okay, well, maybe we just won't find it today. I think it's this one that I've seen it in before, though. There's been a tent there for the homeless people. Oh, like this person. Poor Pauline, however, doesn't have a tent in this park. But I have seen them show up. So let's get down some park maintenance. I'm so sorry for your eyes. Oh hey, Editor Toadie scooching in here again, pausing the timer. This blinding white has generally been fixed. Let me flick through the various menus for you. It looks so much better. I do still wish the toggle during zoning was a permanent on or off, but this is a great start. Now I'm gonna put it here. And I think one of these gives it more vehicles. Yeah, let's just give it more vehicles right away because I have a cheeky suspicion, sure, that it is going to... Oh, now that looks less good than I hoped. Okay, well, well, you can't move upgrades, so... Oh, maybe it's just the... Maybe it's just the landscaping around it. I have a sneaky suspicion that they will all go out very soon. All right, the other thing that I got with the milestone dubers is a police headquarters, because look at down here, the high crime is like a big deal. So let's get a police headquarters. Actually, I think I'll put it around here, and then it'll have quite a bit of coverage. I don't really want to put it like right beside the cemetery. That feels funny. And in there, I'm saving that for a... Oh, I was going to say I'm saving that for like a industry unique building thing. What are they called? Signature building? But that might drift too far into these guys. So if I do this... Please. Please, video game. I'm so sorry for all the flashing. I'm honestly, I'm incredibly sorry. I'm gonna do that. And then what are its upgrades? I don't think any of them go... Oh, this one goes to the side. So we can remember that it goes to the side and it could go up there. What is it? More apprehended criminals. Okay. Well, if we find that we need that, we can use that. However, for now, what's up with the landscaping here? What's going on here? What's going on here? Sorry, that was like obnoxious. I don't actually even know what I'm quoting. You do. Let me know. I will get this. I'm just nervous. It's my first, you know, my first stream. My first video. My first video ever, gang. I'm nervous. Okay, and I'm just gonna go straight over. That's fine. Just to give it, like, something more, I guess. Cool. So that will absolutely help. I may even give it... How are we doing for money? We're fine. I might give it the... Is that a garage? Garage extension. Yeah, let's just get more vehicles going. Because then people will be happy to have less crime. Okay, we're starting to get more demand. Let's continue to do... Sprinkle in some low rent housing. So I'm going to put one here, I guess. Oh, you know, I'll leave it. And then we can do some medium density housing here. I'm really... I don't know. I don't know if this is like the correct thing to do. But I am doing it in hopes that it helps... Like with having more density options around, I'm hoping that it helps people. Now, like, why would that do that? No. Stop doing what you're doing. Please, I beg. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Now, we don't have any office demand, which is a shame because those buildings, here's the demand thing, are the tallest. So, wait, taxes? Oh, right, because I've put them so high for finance and media because I was trying to, I guess, like, discourage them a little bit. It's still going to complain about taxes, but I think the high skill labor availability is probably the more important one. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We could continue to zone down here. I think... Oh, yo, let's... I'm all over the place. I am all over the place. Let's get some more industry going this way. Because we've got the industry demand, but it feels like we have very few places we can comfortably zone industry, like without it affecting people's health. So this area is one of the areas that I am feel fine to do it. So I'm just going to do that first and see what zones in and then fuss with the landscaping if I have to. And then there were so many things I wanted to do once I had you guys. I just wanted to say once I had you guys on the phone, but that's not exactly correct, is it? An observation tower might be rad here. So these are all the pedestrian roads. And I now remember the last thing that I wanted to spend the development points on. This thing is quite huge. If I just get rid of that, and I'm so sorry. Oh, that looks really good, doesn't it? That thing is enormous, but I love it. I love it. Okay, So now we can work with the pedestrian roads around it. I wanted to unlock the underground parking and put it over here. And we still will. It just will not be at this exact time. So we can do that. And then we can zone. Is that loud? Does it matter if it's loud? Where's noise pollution? It isn't even loud, apparently. I guess I could click on it as well. But anyways, that's cool. So let's get some high density housing in here. I am going to continue to try to draw them like smaller. I genuinely am a little bit worried that that's going to be the only way that I can draw these buildings, because if that is how you have to keep their rent kind of low, right? I'm not going to do any medium density stuff over here. No, well, at least not in here. We're going to keep this all high density. So I really need some office as well. I think I need to bring those taxes down. I'm going to keep all of my medium density here because that's how my hometown is. Like that's the actual way that feels. And we should carry on the whole, hey, ToadieZz's telling you all about her life thing. A little weird, right? Like, am I weird? Is it weird to do that? Sorry if it is. And then down here, I think I am just going to do some low density housing. Oh, I was just going to do this. But we've learned that I should make them smaller to avoid high rent. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this high rent thing. I hope that it is something that doesn't have the current desired balance, I guess, and that they are able to get it to the desired balance. 'Cause yeah, it's a little tough. Now, let's see if we can find, right, these people do need better parks. So, large sports parks? Ooh, we could put a soccer field in here somewhere. Can I? Yeah. This'll make sense. These places? Please, I beg. This works. Absolutely, that works. Does that look funky? Maybe we scooch it. Oh, it's gonna kind of extend either way. Okay. Well, then we take trees. Goodness. And we line them on the side. Some spruce trees. Oh, sorry. Nope, there is a tree that has a small, yes, the poplar tree. And we do this. I maybe should do this off camera, but again, the whole point is to show you guys what an hour, no, half an hour of unedited, uninterrupted actual gameplay feels like. Of course, this is me playing like quickly and trying to remain even somewhat entertaining. So I think if I was playing alone and I didn't have you guys here, you know what I mean. It would be a lot different, but it would be a lot slower and less stressy, I think is a good way of putting it. However, that is not the case. So we will, because I don't know, I just want you guys to like be entertained and have fun and all of that fun stuff. Is there a park needed over here? Yeah, so as you get like more dense stuff happening, an outdoor gym downtown, is that weird? Maybe a tennis court instead. That feels much less weird. But as you get more dense of people or whatever living in a space, the parks and the services range, they go less far because they're not necessarily like per building. It feels like they are more so per person, if that makes sense. Let's look at the air pollution together. Yeah, I'm nervous to zone any more industry in here. So I could maybe zone a cheeky small little bit right here. And then I think because that is a smaller amount, I don't think that will go that far. We'll have to wait and see to be sure. But then let's come and I would really love some office demand. So I think, honestly, I think in order to do that, I might have to do this. Let's just put it all down to the 8. Let's just go with the classic 8%. I do feel that will be our next like one that we stay at. Unoccupied buildings. Right, because I have some like low density office zoned, but you can see the rest of the demands are coming up. So we will do a small amount more of actual high density housing. And I'm trying to wonder what kind of transit we get out here. I think it's my go-to because of City Skylines 1 is always going to be... Oh, I see what it's done there. That's fine. It just means that we get zoning on this side, which is fine. Can we do this? Hey, it's going to give us 2. If I do this, it's still going to give us 2. Now, what if I do this? There we go. There's one large residential building. This thing looks so cool. I'm so excited about that. What else do we have? We've got some... let's take a look at our... Oh, I was going to bring up the unemployment. However, it is incredibly bright. So instead, I'm just going to take a boo at all of the schools and see if any of them are full. No, it looks like the population is still kind of going through their schooling. So we've got like 2.5 minutes left. Let's get some more of this road structure done. Can you hear the like shaking my voice? Gang, what's going on? Why do you make me so nervous? What a weird phenomenon. But I'm gonna leave this in the video. I think this is kind of fun. I think this is like a real... Here's the reality of ToadieZzz recording. Basically, it's a gong show. Friends, welcome to my gong show. Let's put a roundabout there. I'm the worst for that. If it's got like a 4-way intersection or whatever, I put a roundabout in it. Generally. Now, traffic is not... traffic is smart in this game. I have had traffic problems, and I thought actually that they would be prevalent right now in the old downtown. I'm going to call it the old downtown. But so far, they haven't shown up, and I wonder if I fixed it off camera by accident. I know I fixed it off camera during like one version or so of this city, but I don't remember if like I must have saved, basically, is what we're gonna say here. Now, is this doing anything? I don't know. Oh, we do have contour lines on. It's doing so little. Hard to find a... There it is. Okay, that looks all right. And then we grab it and we do this. Very good. We will bring this back up to 100%. And make that slope nice. Now this slope I'm just gonna make pretty steep. But you know what? That's really not that bad. Then let's go down. That's all right. That's all right. Okay, and we get rid of these. Now I am going to... Where are my highways? Here they are. I'm stressed. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I'll just let it choose it for me. I might even sneak another road in there. What do we think? Do we want to put 2 roads in, like kind of side by side like that? This one is just on the higher... I've done this before. This one being on the higher plane. Oh yeah. There you go. Oh, that's great. And then we... Oh, I do. Actually, I want this road. Okay, I'm doing all these cheeky things now. I've only got 18 seconds. Okay, I'll let it... I'm going to pause it, and I'm just going to let it go until I'm done this with you guys. Maybe a little bit more than 30 minutes unedited. Raw, unedited footage. Sounds so silly. Hey, who's this guy? He seems to be traveling between the 3 versions of ToadieZzz. Let's hear what he has to say.
What's up everyone, Flyvox here. I was just up on the viewing deck on the Hail Bubble on a Stick, and I gotta say, it's probably my favorite place in all of ToadieZzz. You have a view of almost the entire city from up here. Interesting enough, I was also in this bar, and 2 ladies walked in, said cold to the barkeeper, and disappeared into the back of the bar. Very peculiar. Oh wait, you want to know what I do, right? Well, I create content based around City Skylines, and as of now, City Skylines 2 of course, on YouTube with some tutorials and Let's Plays, and over on Twitch we hang out during city building and have an amazing time with fun challenges I set for myself. You should stop by sometime. You won't regret it, I promise.
That fly fella seems pretty fly. I'll be sure to link his City Skylines 2 video at the end of this one. Don't miss it. Until then, we've got 15 minutes left in ToadieZzz. Let's make the best of them by filling out the rest of the city and watching our citizens move in while the city grows. Adding a splash of decoration. some services and sightseeing, and taking a step back to review. Comparing this city that we've built together against the other two that I've ventured off on my own with, I'd really encourage you to notice a few differences between them. I've made distinct choices in layout, how I approach realism, or if I even do it all, and where I spend varying amounts of effort to make specific areas look and feel exactly as intended. These cities have different successes, be it fewer high rent problems, a nicer skyline, a better story. One of them may have taught me more about which road layouts are more visually appealing. Another introduced gridlock traffic that I had to solve. Another was a fun experiment in working with the road tools and getting them to cooperate at certain angles. What am I trying to get at here? Listen, I'll be the first to say not one of the versions of this city are exactly the way I wanted it to turn out, or even close to perfect. But I've learned from each of them and had a great time working on them. You only get to play a game for the first time once. Maybe keep that in mind as you dive into City Skylines 2 yourself, and don't get bogged down in trying to make the perfect city right off the hop. Give yourself permission to make mistakes and turn them into an experience that you enjoy and maybe can learn from. And if you don't figure it out the first time, you might the second. If you're coming into City Skylines 2 as a veteran of the first game, some game mechanics may feel a bit foreign to you, and that's okay. Now you get to have the experience of trying and testing and tinkering to see what makes your city tick. There's plenty of time to be an expert later. If you're coming in brand new to city building games, welcome to quite possibly the next few thousand hours of your life. I hope you enjoy it here. Anyways, I'll hop off my soapbox. Alright gang, I've got a few more cinematics for you, honestly because I've had so much fun flying through with the cinematic camera mode. Remember back in the first episode where I was lamenting the loss of props and many decorating tools, but said it's worth focusing on what we do have available to be creative with? This is what I meant. I've found a new challenge in tinkering with this cinematic camera, and I'm sure there are other bits tucked away in this game waiting for us to find creative and unique uses for them. This episode does wrap up ToadieZzz though. For the longest time, I was hoping to make the most basic tutorials available for you right at the time of release, so, you know, soon. But I'm realizing I need to find the best ways to really simplify some more of this gameplay for you. It's still at the top of my priority list, but it may be a week or so delayed. Please do stay tuned for it. In the meantime, if you want to ask direct questions about the game and ask for tips with something you're stuck on while you're playing it, come find me on Twitch, where I'll be streaming the game and will be more than happy to stop what I'm doing and see if we can get you going. My next few videos on this channel will of course still be City Skylines 2. I've got some tips, tricks, and a couple challenges I'm excited to try. Subscribe so you don't miss them. Gang, remember to stand up for what you believe in and for who you believe in while you're out there doing your thing, alright? Now let's go see what Flyvox has in store for us.